As a long-time user of NordicTrack treadmills, this, the 2025 model year commercial 2450 treadmill, is my pick for 2025. I've had hundreds of miles on this and the previous generation of the 2450, and I'm going to go a lot deeper in this review than many other reviews. I will try and keep my hands down here, but they may go up here at times, so stay with me. Let's get cracking. The 2450 has always been a very solid treadmill, but the 2025 version I have here can handle runners up to 400 pounds and has a top speed of 14 miles an hour. Where the previous version could do 5-minute miles, if you can run a 4.17 second mile, then this will work for you, I guess. I have opinions on this. And that's because the previous 3 versions of this newer Z-shaped design, which came out in 2022, they all had a really solid 3.6 continuous horsepower motor. But for 2025, NordicTrack have beefed that up substantially to 4.25 continuous horsepower motor. Now, I don't know, I can't run 14 miles an hour. I don't know anyone who can run 14 miles an hour. So I wasn't really clear on what the point of that was until it arrived. And there is a substantial difference for people who don't go that fast, which is me and maybe you. And that's the adjustments it can make. So previously, if you were doing, say, interval training and there were fast speed changes within sections of the workout, if those intervals were short, it would take time for the treadmill to get up to speed before it's time for it to come down again. This is substantially faster. So when the speed changes happen on this, you notice them straight away, and you do need to concentrate because they are a lot quicker than they were before, but not too quick. So that's where this 4.2 continuous horsepower motor, I think, really shines. It's the agility in which it can change speeds throughout your workout. And that motor also has a lifetime warranty, which is reassuring. Next, I want to talk about the deck. Now, as somebody who gets easily injured and does not like running on half surfaces, the NordicTrack deck is absolutely perfect. It's the right balance of support and also springiness. And with each step I take on this, I've yet to have an injury on any NordicTrack treadmill. I've had about 5 treadmills through this gym, and they're all really, really good, even the cheaper models. And as my gym is essentially one half of a garage, I really like the fact that this folds up. I haven't got loads of room in here, so when I'm not using this treadmill, I can just lift it up and store it in this position. Now, the previous version of this, I could do with one hand. But as you can see, there is some weight to this version, and that's because they've beefed it up for 2025. But it does mean that you need to probably be able to lift, say 40, 50 pounds to actually lift this up into this position. The piston is excellent though. When you're bringing it down, it comes down nice and slowly. And unlike the previous versions of this, it doesn't clunk at the bottom. So the 2022 to 2024 versions would have a little clunk at the bottom. You can see here that this is just going down really smoothly all the way. Incline and decline changes on this are also a really good speed. Here I'm in real time going from +12 all the way to -3. Having a decline really helps work a different set of muscles. It also helps improve your balance. But even at 3 miles an hour on a level 12 hike, you can really get your heart rate up, and it's so much less impact than running. And if you like hiking, I really like their Hike the Rockies series. There's 3 parts and there's plenty of workouts within each part. But my favorite one of all time is their Hike to Everest base camp. I can't think and type. So here we are. Look. So if you look at all these workouts, this series is actually superb. And I just thought it would be easy because she just looks like a friendly older lady. But yeah, she put me on my backside. I'm just going to show you what the tread's like. I've put the mic here because otherwise it will just be clattering around. So let's put this on to quick start. So this is in manual mode. You probably can't even hear me now. This is in manual mode. I'm going to just start it off at 3 miles an hour. So if you're walking on this treadmill, this is kind of what it's going to sound like. If you've got noise cancelling headphones on, you're not really going to hear this. Let's take it up to 5. So this is kind of my pace, 5 miles an hour. And let's take it up to 8, which is beyond my pace. And what you may have noticed there's also no screen wobble. Even if you could see a little bit, don't forget your emotion. So when you're actually using it, you can't see it at all. This tablet is a 24-inch tablet and a noticeable upgrade from the previous generation with a 22-inch tablet. That tablet was very good. This one is excellent. And out of all the connected fitness equipment I've used, so Hydro, Pelotons, other NordicTrack equipment, this is by far the best tablet of them all. And if you're looking at NordicTrack's X24 treadmill, their most expensive treadmill, so significantly more expensive than this one, it's got the same tablet as this. Along the dashboard here, you do have your controls for incline and decline, volume up and down, start, emergency pull, and you've got the fan control there as well, and you've also got your speed controls. The previous generation of this tablet had the incline controls here as well, and also the speed controls on this side. This was quite handy, but I think this is a much cleaner look. And if you're in the UK, a little section here for UK runners, because we're in Europe, the NordicTrack machines that you would get in the UK, this would be in kilometers an hour, these buttons on the side. And if you didn't know, in the UK, like I lift weights in kilos, we buy fuel in litres. That makes sense, doesn't it? But we measure fuel economy in miles per gallon, but not a US gallon. And our road signs measure speed and distance in miles and miles per hour. It's a very complicated system. And what that means is when you put kilometers an hour on a UK machine, we don't know what it means. But if within a workout you do want the controls on screen, you can just put them on here. And there you've got your speed controls there, as well as your incline and decline on that side. As with every NordicTrack treadmill, they have a fan, which I absolutely love. So you've got settings, 1. Now this may sound loud, but you'll have your headphones on. 2 and 3. But my favorite setting out of all of those is auto. And with the auto setting, the fan will blow in conjunction of how hard you're working out. So the harder you're working out, the harder the fan will blow. And this is a really good fan. It's hard for me to actually show you, if you can see, how much power that comes out of this fan. It truly is excellent. I got my first 2450 in 2022, and as you can see, I really like 2450 treadmills. If you're thinking about buying a 2450 treadmill or any piece of NordicTrack equipment, I'll put a link in the description. That will take you straight to NordicTrack's website, and it also helps support the channel, which is greatly appreciated. It does take a little bit of effort to make these videos, so thank you very much. Software on this treadmill is called iFIT 2.0, and it really is excellent. I've been really impressed with this since launch over the last few months. Now you've got various series here you might like, so let's look at the beginner series. So beginner running, which is made up of 30 workouts, and you will go through this, and this will really enhance your running as time goes on. So they're all beginner workouts, and it will take you 6 weeks to complete this, and by the end of this you'll find that you are obviously a better runner. You've got other series such as a hiking series, Swiss Alps series, Hawaii night. There's a lot on here. This is a brilliant series, although this cost me a fortune because I did the workouts on this and then we had to go and had to take the whole family. The search function is also very good. So for instance, if you were thinking today you wanted to do some yoga, you could just apply that as a filter and that would bring up all of their yoga workouts. And off the treadmill, you can just rotate this, tilt the screen forward, turn it round, and then it will be facing you off the treadmill. Probably the main 2 reasons why I use NordicTrack equipment, beyond the fact that this is very easy on my body. What you see before you is vintage 1974 and easily broken, is these immersive outdoor workouts. Now, I used to be a Peloton guy, if you've watched my channel way back, and I really like Peloton, but their best classes are in a studio setting. And after so many workouts in the same environment, it was time for me to move on. And with iFIT, these workouts take place on all 7 continents, all over the world, and in some fantastic locations. I also like the trainers as well. So there's two types of fitness trainer, isn't there? You've got your rah-rah ones that I kind of can sometimes find quite shrill. Or you've got people like the iFIT trainers, the vast majority of the iFIT trainers, and I would say they work on the principle of polite pressure. So they are highly motivating, but they do not give you a headache. In addition to that, they have depth of knowledge. So as somebody who has an interest in fitness, I've been working out since I was a child. I do feel like fairly knowledgeable, but I've learned so much since I've been using iFIT from trainers like this one, things that I just didn't know. Now, in addition to the outdoor immersive workouts, and I can't say, I mean, I will say this forever, I think, they are superb. They do have these class workouts. So if this is more of your thing, this is an option for you as well. Now, this guy is brilliant. However, I don't particularly lean towards these class workouts. Why would you walk, hike or run in a studio when you can do it in a location like this? One of my favorite features is the auto follow feature. So this is a hike stroke run, and during this, the incline will change and so will the speed as set by the instructor. And that means that as the terrain changes, in this case she's going uphill, you can see that the treadmill is actually going up. And if she was running, for instance, the treadmill would actually speed up to match her pace. I've capped my top speed at 7 miles an hour because I don't want to get caught out. And what you can also do is you can change the intensity. So if the workout's too hard or too fast for you, you can pull that workout back, and then that will be remembered for the rest of the workout. So if the workout difficulty is going 7-8, 7-8, 7-8, but you want 4-5, 4-5, 4-5, for instance, you can bring that down and set it to your pace. It will also remember that for any other workout you do. So when you jump on another workout, those settings will be remembered for you. It is a really good feature, and it means out of NordicTrack's 10,000 plus workouts, whether you want to do a beginner, intermediary or an advanced workout, it doesn't really matter about your capability because they can be scaled up or down to suit your fitness needs. But hands down, my favorite feature of any connected fitness machine I've ever used is Active Pulse. And this is where you can connect your heart rate monitor, I wear a Whoop, to the machine, and it will make adjustments based on your training zone. So if I'm doing a workout, for instance, and my ego is pushing me too hard, the workout will be made easier just to bring me back into the zone. If I'm feeling lazy, it will be made harder. You can see here that the white arrow shows where I am and the blue dot shows where I should be. So the workout becomes easier to bring me back down into that training zone. This feature actually blows my mind, having such a personalized connection with the machine that it can make adjustments on how your physiology is in that moment. And what this also means is if I recommend a 7 out of 10 difficulty workout to my wife, when she gets on the machine, she will find it 7 out of 10 difficulty as well, even though we are in very different places cardiovascularly. I'm a severe asthmatic, and at a recent trip to the hospital, I was told I have the lung function of a woman in her early 80s. When I said about men, the doctor just looked down the chart and said they're dead by then. On the left here, you can see that my cardiovascular fitness for the last year, the vast majority of the time, it was below average with only a couple of months above average. However, my wife's was all the time above average and a couple of months was high. And the fact that we can do the same workout and have the same intensity, it's just, yeah, it just blows my mind. Within a workout, you've got two soundtracks. You've got the trainer volume.
You don't get much rain, much water.
And you've also got the music volume. Now, in the UK, we get a choice of 4 stations. In the US, you will get 11 stations. In addition to this, you've also got apps. Now, I've got Netflix, Prime Video and Spotify here, but you may want more. So you've got Amazon Music, Audible, Pluto, and radio stations and podcasts there as well. And because these soundtracks are different, what that means is you can have the trainer voice on in a workout, and then you can overlay that with your own Spotify music or an audio book or the radio. This is a really nice feature. And if you want to watch a streaming service such as Netflix, say for instance you're doing Zone 2 cardio, you can just put it into manual mode and then start watching the TV shows that you want to watch. Or if you want to do a workout, you can start a workout and then switch away from that workout into Netflix, you'll lose the soundtrack of the workout. However, when the machine makes one of those automatic adjustments, if you have that on, you will get a small beep, meaning that you're never going to be speeding up or changing incline whilst watching The Office and be surprised by that change. I've just started watching The Office US. I know I'm late to the party. Which is better, the UK Office or the US one? I thought it would be an easy choice. It is not. Penultimately, I want to talk about the subscription, and this is something that I know many people aren't keen on. And I blame, well, do you remember when Netflix was like everything you needed to watch? And then you needed Netflix and then Disney Plus as well. And then you needed Netflix, Disney Plus, and then Paramount, whatever that is as well. So you end up having to pay more to retain what you once had. I think that is why people hate subscriptions. That's certainly why I don't like subscriptions for TV channels. With regards to this is a fitness subscription. So our gym membership was, for a family of 4, 160 a month. This, if you're in the US, is 39 a month, or if in the UK, it's 34 a month. So that is substantially cheaper, and it covers 5 people as well. And when I say 5 people, that's obviously 1 bill payer and up to 4 parasites. I'm sure you won't be surprised to hear that I drive a Tesla. Yes. My Tesla, I've had 3 Teslas since 2019. When I first got a Tesla, the salesman said to me, this will be the worst it will ever be. And I didn't quite understand that. And through software upgrades, every Tesla I've owned has got better the longer I've owned it. And when I think back to my 2450, my 2022 model, I bought that in 2022. By the time I sold it at the start of this year, when NordicTrack very kindly sent me this version to review, the software on that was infinitely better the day I sold it than on the day I got it. I don't particularly want static products. I don't want to buy something that's this expensive and it be the same in a year's time. I want things to continually to improve, and I want brand new workouts regularly as well. I just don't mind paying a subscription if things continually get better or are continually giving me content. As you can tell, I'm a genuine fan of NordicTrack, so I buy my subscriptions annually. So in the UK, it's 34 a month. However, in their last sale, they have several sales a year. I bought a 2-year subscription, which brought the price down to about 17 a month. In the US, in their January sale, I'll put the prices on screen now. There are some really good savings to be made if you have the ability to switch from paying for your subscription monthly to paying for it yearly. I hope that explains why the NordicTrack 2450 is my NordicTrack pick for 2025, and overall my treadmill pick for 2025. It's that good. It was my pick in 2022, 2023 and 2024 as well. They are truly excellent treadmills. If you haven't got the budget for a 2450, look at the 1750. That has a top speed of 12 miles an hour, but the same 4.25 continuous horsepower motor, but it has a 16-inch screen instead of a 24-inch screen. I would caveat that though, because you're not going to buy this with a 24-inch screen and wished you bought one with a 16-inch screen. Only you will know if you bought the smaller screen version, if you're going to wish you'd bought the larger screen version. And I think with iFIT 2.0 and how good that is, and these new big screens and higher quality tablets, plus all the streaming services that you've got now, I think 24 inches is where it's at, really. Well, I hope you found this video useful. It's been a long one. If you're still here, thanks. I'm tired. You must be tired. YouTube thinks you will like this video. And until next time, see you soon.